Alrighty, hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. This is one of the last races for week 4 in the Swiss portion of the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament, Spoiler League Edition. I am Hammer Bro. I am in the booth, and I am joined by Bigfoot08. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm really fine. We're looking forward to a really nice race. Both runners have won 2 races, lost 1, so it should be very interesting.
Yeah, both of these guys are very good at this game. So sit back, relax, and watch this spoiler log race put them through their paces, because this is not. If you're unfamiliar with the format, basically how it works is, as you can see on cheamo's side, you have 15 minutes to start your to go through the spoiler log. It tells you everything, like where the items are, what the tree pulls are, etc., etc. As you can see, that time is coming to a close, and we are off. So our runners have 15 minutes to get everything set up the way they want it, get a route as best they can, and then go, 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 go.
Yeah, that's for the beginning. For a weapon, Red Boomerang and Link's House is kinda okay, but we hope to find another weapon soon, like a sword or a hammer or something else.
Very much so. And early game routing can be a little bit interesting, as you see basically immediate divergence from both of our runners. OC trying to grab a 50-50 bomb here and does succeed once. Cheamo, meanwhile, starting from the Sanctuary and doing CAC the more traditional up to down.
Yeah, I think Oase will go and farm some bombs here in the bombable hut, or no, he will go to the tavern. Meanwhile, Cheamo found some rupees and the moon pearl and the mushroom and the cape.
That mushroom is perhaps one of the more interesting pickups, since our runners will generally be skipping everything they don't need. So I don't know if the mushroom was just along the way and Cheamo decided to grab it, or if we're going to be turning that in somewhere.
Yeah, and we also see both runners picking up the blue mail. Since every runner knows where everything is, this seed won't have too many hearts on both sides, so blue mail is a nice early safety. Because you'll be playing nearly all the seed with a very low heart count, so blue mail is nice to have.
That's a very good point. That also goes for a lot of other safeties that you might pass up traditionally or not be a huge fan of, like powder is enormous because generally you don't have more than about 7-8 hearts, so that fairy will completely heal you.
Yeah, and I can tell you something, we've already seen a cape and a lamp, and that combination is kinda scary, because, well, we would need at least one sword, but if we find a sword, that would put the Aga 1 play into place.
Oh, don't worry, we're gonna find a pair of gloves or a glove and a hammer, and it'll be fine. The seeds just really.
Well, at least, wow, both runners going into the Hyrule Castle, and that's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's a fair. Well, maybe go the other way.
Okay, Cheamo going straight to the back, Dark Cross and back of Escape, and Oase seems to want something from below, from the basement.
And with no other weapons to speak of, this lamp is really useful because it's not fun to run through there as Oase grabs a key.
That's very interesting. He's stealing a key so he doesn't have to kill the key rat. That's interesting. Because with bombs being our only weapon at the moment...
That's not stealing a key, you need that key.
Yeah. And Cheamo realizing it, and so he's death warping, because that's his fastest way out at this point.
Meanwhile, Oase is murdering some blue guards.
Ah, setting up tier 2 tree pull, which is bombs. Very nice. Nice way to farm some bombs.
Alright, so both runners there making a slight bit of an error. Or Oase forgetting a weapon and Cheamo forgetting a key. So, we're gonna try this again. And Cheamo not really realizing that the chest right there also had a key. So you didn't technically have to kill that blue guard, but again, you don't have time to look through the entire spoiler log, so.
Yeah, and as we could have seen that he did not have in mind that he had to farm for that key, so he did not look for that other than oase. Alright, now we're gonna see what's in the back of Escape. We got the key rat.
We have murdered the sewers boss, so now we just have to go see what our prize for it is.
Something in back of Escape. 50 rupees. The boots! Oh, that's nice. Very early boots is always nice to find.
Yes, it is. But unfortunately, that does not help us with Dark World access.
No, it only unlocks a few locations like Bonk Rocks or the library at this point. And the way oase goes at this point, I think there might be something in library, because he has already been in this area, and the only thing new open for him is a library. Yeah, and he's going straight in. Oh, and there's a sword. Now Aga 1 would be in full logic. But, well, it's pretty likely we'll find an early glove, like in Eastern or somewhere.
Nope, here we go!
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is an Aga play. Or isn't it? He's going to the uncle?
I imagine it's going to be an Aga play, because you wouldn't have skipped this the first time around if you weren't planning on heading back. That's a nice piece of heart, and the magic will not go amiss.
Yeah. Magic is always nice to have.
Not only is this a fighter sword Aga. Yeah, we needed the magic for the cape, actually, because we don't have the master sword. Not only is this just a standard old fighter sword Aga tower, we also don't have any weapons to speak of other than that fighter sword. So everything is going to be slash, 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 slash.
Yeah, this is almost vanilla.
Look, at least in vanilla, they give you a sword that does a little more damage.
Yeah. Especially these ball and chain guards are pretty nasty only with a fighter sword. But he's doing very nice double spins.
Are we doing this 4 times? Yep, that's going to be fun. Oh, goodness.
And Cheamo also getting his magic, as we can see in his slideshow.
Yep, without a second sword upgrade here, we are going to absolutely need that magic to get through the barrier.
Alright, this is gonna be a fun seed. Because it's very empty in the front till now. Because if there was anything else in the light world, our runners wanted to have, like something in Eastern, a better weapon, for example. I guess our runners might have gotten that before doing the Aga play.
Yeah, definitely in the way of weapons. But to be fair, if we don't have any gloves here in the light world, which I'm assuming we don't, because you know our runners wouldn't have gone all the way to the back. If there was a glove ready, then the only dungeon we even have access to is Eastern. As Oase is gonna have to be careful here. That's a nice hard drop.
Yeah, and Eastern without a bow isn't clearable. It is a crystal, as we can see, because we won't see any map checks, so our tracker, what's he called? Hexodus? Exodus, he has already marked all the dungeons, as you can see in the tracker. We have our green pendant in Skull Woods, and the other two pendants in Port and Swamp Palace. So hopefully we'll never see Swamp, because you don't want to go into Swamp if it's a pendant. And also the others might be nice not to go in.
That's a good point. There's also a point with that being said there, we might not need the flippers for anything. If there's nothing in Swamp, we can fake flipper to Ice Palace pretty easily.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Alright, so get your guesses in chat. 0 through 15. How many blue balls are we gonna see today?
Well, the first guess from DoomTap is actually a 15. So we'll see whether Aga is nice today.
Alright, that room kinda got away from cheamo, but no harm, no foul. We got a couple of hearts to refill, and we're okay.
Yeah, and Aga's not playing nice. There were several blue balls.
Well, we know it's required, so we get to just sit here and wait it out.
At least both runners get the same setting, provided both of them survive.
There we go. So what was that, 4? Just enough to be really annoying.
Yeah. I thought 5, but I could be wrong. Alright, where do we go in the Dark World? That looks like Port, because without the hammer we can't go to the south here. Looks really like Port.
Yep, and it's a good thing we grabbed some rupees in the light world here, or else we wouldn't be getting very far.
Yeah, we also have to remember that that without a bow, Port could be bow locked, and we don't have a bottle-to-bottle glitch. But assuming they're going in without a bow, I suspect either we find a bow in the first chest or it's not bow locked for what we need in here.
That's fair. There's also the general hope that we won't have to go too terribly far in here, so it won't matter.
Yeah, Pot is a pendant. You don't want to do anything in here if you can, so maybe this will only be for one item we need to get out of Pot, hopefully. And then we'll be out of here.
Yeah, what Pod didn't tell you, though, is that the one item could be on Helmasaur.
Yeah. And since we already had an agar seed, there's always the possibility of a pet seed.
Oh no, why would you even say that?
Oh, I like pet agar seeds. They're fun to watch.
Cheamo's gonna have to be careful, murder dactyls like blood. Okay, we're good. Losing half your health in one shot is never fun.
No.
I would just like to point out that at 15 minutes in, we haven't seen anything other than the Moon Pearl for Dark World access. Normally, the seed's nicer than that in, a regular non-spoiler log seed. Just saying. Hey, hello, Flute.
Yeah, and at the same time, cheamo taking a very unfortunate death in here.
No, that was Death Orb.
Oh yeah, it was a death orb. That's fine then. All right, that flute. That's interesting.
I mean, that flute is technically required, since we do need to get in the mire today, so...
Yeah, but getting that flute that early in the Dark World after the Light World was that empty, it gets some very interesting thoughts, because we also already have the boots, which would be an access into mire. If we have a medallion somewhere, the ether medallion somewhere, which is required for mire, that could be really horrible. So for something like a glove deep in mire or so.
Well, we need both gloves to get to mire, so that's not going to be a problem.
Okay, yeah, alright, yeah, I forgot that we need the mids, yeah.
Yeah, but outside of those two gloves, we could still have a really early mire dip for something. That's definitely still on the table.
Yeah, the other thing this flute unlocks for us right now is the mountain. That's the other possibility.
It looks like we are getting a double required seed here, as Oase is going to go check the lumberjack tree.
Oh my god. Double required agar?
Since we didn't have the hammer or a glove, is it triple required? Oh no.
Oh my god. Is there a need to go into swamp? Oh my god.
You just had to say something about the stinking ped seed, didn't you? You just had to say.
Yeah, I had to say it. I had to say it. And now we get an ice rod cave. Oh, the mirror.
Ah, dang it. Alright, so... Swamp care package.
Yeah, I just need the hook shot. Well, and we need some way to get to swamp in the Dark World, because we don't have that. We need the hammer to get, to get there from the pyramid.
Hammer anyways.
Yeah.
Well, technically, if we get the hook shot, we can just hook shot all the way around and then do a nice little dash.
Yeah, but swamp is also hammerlocked pretty early. After the first two chests, so...
Okay, it can still be in that first non-key chest. That's always an option, right?
Yeah, and both runners here saving the old man and getting the hook shot! Oh my god! We're just talking about it missing. This looks so much like swamp right now.
It certainly does seem that way, doesn't it?
And Oase, he's going back to Oh no, he's using the portal here.
Yeah, it's our only Dark World access. We still don't
Yeah.
have a glove or a hammer.
Is he really
And a
doing
bomb.
the long way around to go to Swamp right now?
I mean, to be fair, could be the long way around to go anywhere else as well.
Yeah. But, wow, that's... It's mirroring. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, we can't do that without a. Well, yeah, that's a tree walk.
we can't get up there without a glove or the hammer.
Okay, so back up the mountain we go. And it looks like Cheamo is making the same mistake.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you see, you can swim down and go around that first requirement, but you still need a glove to get to the actual catfish.
Yeah, well, I don't know, isn't there a whirlpool in the Dark World?
Yes, but it doesn't go that far. It goes to
Okay.
just northwest of the witch's shop, so it doesn't help you with that big rock.
Okay, yeah, that's... Okay, doing Herrind right now.
Well, the good news is we can clear it, and it's a crystal. The bad
Yeah.
news is we don't have a way to clear it without ticking off Muldorm, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. Fighter Sword Muldorm is... Wow.
Fighter Sword Muldorm is working as intended.
Yeah, it's vanilla, but it's not nice.
Really, genuinely is not. You're absolutely correct.
But till now, it's a really nice fight from Rise, eh? Just one more hit. Oh, that was a really nice fight from Rise.
Alright, so we are seeing this jump down here.
Yeah.
Cheamo will... I believe you can jump up to the left-hand side and get access to... No, you can't do that. You still need a glove bug. Oh, you're gonna find that
Yeah.
out in a minute. Oh, never mind. We're just getting over
Yeah.
the west side.
Yeah, that's the way. You can go left side this way. We really need that glove, because it's locking so much at this point.
Glove, a hammer,
Yeah.
a fire rod, a bow, a rod of some sort, a cane of some sort. We don't really have much, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Oh, and I see going to the hobo. Magic, that's nice safety.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to have, honestly.
Yeah, but it's a little bit out of the way, because hobo... Well, I guess if you do it from the Dark World, it's an okay check, but it's not... It's kind of time consuming. Oh, Oase. Are you lost?
There seems to be some confusion.
Doesn't he know that way to the left side Dark World, which Cheamo took a minute ago?
Potentially not. It's not terribly well known that you can use flippers there and jump up. So this might be a situation where sort of that nuanced knowledge is giving him difficulties.
Yeah. Well, he might know it. You also have to remember it at this point. That's the thing. Yeah, he's going back through the portal. Meanwhile, cheamo. Well, wasn't that a nice cane of Samaria in the Thief's Town attic?
It was wonderful. If we had a glove at all, I would be really concerned about the potential of Meyer. Yeah. Still having a little bit of a brain fart here.
Well, at this point, with him picking up bombos, having the flippers. Oh no, Ice Palace is mid-locked.
Yep, we can't do anything without those gloves.
Yeah, those gloves, they are locking so much at this point. And Oase, you are on the right path, but just a little lower. He's thinking.
To be fair, when we were looking at the spoiler log earlier, I forgot they were going to have to do this. So I don't know if I were in his position, if I would be thinking of it right off the top of my head right now either.
Yeah. I also totally forgot that.
Because right now we're still sitting with no glove and no hammer. So this is not obvious.
I think he's right now he's consulting the spoiler log and looking what could I have missed to get on the left side. Is there anything else I can get? But he has everything he needs. He just has to remember the play.
Yeah, this is definitely a seed that can trip you up. Some seeds are just mean. This seed is not mean as much as it is sneaky. Nice fight for cheamo there. Got a little off script, but still managed it. Only had 5 hearts to begin with, so you want to be careful for the blind fight. That is 1 crystal apiece now.
Yeah. And as we've earlier said, the flippers might be optional because Swamp is a pendant, and into Ice Palace you can fake flipper. With this only way to get to the left side Dark World, the flippers are hard required now. Oh, and there is our first love in the brewery.
Well, isn't that nice?
No, especially the way you had to get there. Aga 1, flippers at Lumberjack, and then that flipper location. And that the way you had to flipper over to the left side Dark World, that's not nice. And let's not forget, to do that you had to get the flute from deep into port to get the hook shot from the old man.
So where are we going back to Catfish?
Oh my god.
This would be terrible without a spoiler log, because like even if you make this play, you're just sitting there and Catfish is just like that thing where you're like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, forget it. That's item location. It is super orphaned at this point. If it's there, oh well. And
yeah, Catfish would definitely be in last location. Oh my god! The hammer at the cat. Oh my god. This scene is horrible.
So, where's that other glove?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, and Oase at this point he thought he could get to the the catfish without a glove, get his hammer, and have more free movement in the Dark World. I think that was his plan.
Yep, and it makes sense because it was that was my plan when I saw the spoiler log. So yeah, again, no blame whatsoever. So now we are headed back into the dark world proper, like a normal human being who has a glove and a hammer and actual proper dark world access.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to see that he didn't go to the portal near Swamp Palace. So and he goes here near Skull Woods. So maybe there isn't something in Swamp.
There's always something in Pendant Swamp, let's be honest.
Well, one thing to mention, the runners are allowed to watch the stream. So, from the fact that Oase is clearly having no clue at this point for more than 5 minutes now, and is not making any moves, I think we can conclude that he does not watch this stream because we're talking about the play he has to make all the time right now. And he could have seen it on cheamo's side.
Yes, but then we haven't been specific in what the play actually is. So if he came in late, he's not getting any information. And since cheamo's already made it, it's kind of difficult to, you know.
Yeah. Well, we can tell him right now if he's watching, because
at this point, I think we'd see him in chat.
Yeah. But if you're there, you have to go a little south, one screen transition, jump into the water, swim up, get out of it, and then hookshot over to the left side Dark World. That's your play right now.
Meanwhile, cheamo did pick up a book. Yes, a book from K45. That's...
Yeah, and after that, he picked up a Master Sword from the Lake Hylia Island. Whoa.
I mean, it took long enough. Finally. So, if that's the second sword we're picking up, then, the other one, get out of the way.
Yeah, he's also picking up his half magic. Now, where are we going? Oh, that's desert area at this point, because no access to mire. There's a bottle on the desert ledge.
Okay. So at this point, I want to just go ahead and throw it out there. Oase has officially forfeited from the race.
Okay, he was at least... it seems he was not able to figure out his way to progress. By all means, this does not mean that cheamo has won automatically. He still has to finish his race.
As bad as this seed has been.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, I can say if I would have been in this seat, I would have forfeited also, because I would never had the idea to do this flipper play to the left side Dark World.
I'm fairly certain that I would have forfeited the seed upon rolling it, as we do see a nice.
Oh no, that was a fire rod and a bow in desert.
Wow, that's a loaded desert palace. And to those of you who are asking, yes, cheamo does know. They've been briefly chatting over in SRL. So cheamo does know that Oase forfeit. And with that bow, it looks like we are headed towards Eastern.
Oh, not? Oh, yeah, we're heading Eastern.
Yeah, we actually do have the glove, so we can pick up that rock.
Yeah.
It took a while, but we did get there.
Yeah, it was kind of a trip to get to the first items, but now the item menu does not look too bad. Just missing a glove, the ice rod. You want to have silvers, maybe more swords, but that's about it.
And we need ether as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's ice rod. As he's here, he will finish Eastern Palace. It's a crystal, so no reason to not do it while you're here.
And honestly, that catfish play is a play that I think in the entirety of Rando that I've ever played, I've done it once. And I think I've seen it maybe once or twice now. So it's not a commonly known play, and it's not a play that you ever really have to do. So it's very easily something that can trip you up pretty
Yeah. Yeah, that's I haven't seen it very often either. It's very, very seldom that you have to actually do it. It's hard required.
And that is a death that was accidental.
Yeah. He tried to damage boost onto that switch, but didn't get it. Took too much damage. But since he knows that his opponent has forfeited, he has the time to just do it again without any pressure.
Yeah, but at the same point, these guys are speedrunners. They like speedrunning, so I'm sure he's still going to be trying to fly through this game as best he can. And at this point, route in any more safeties or hearts than you've already planned on doing so is just probably more of a pain than it's worth for most people. So unless this seed goes south, I think we're going to still see a relatively low health, relatively low safety seed.
Yeah, he might route in one or two more than he planned to do, but I don't think too many additional hearts.
Alright, so take 2 attempts at this big key coming up.
Yeah, I kind of wondered why he didn't use the cape, because he has half magic and the cape, so could have been a possibility.
Honestly, I feel like that was just a situation where you're taking a heart of damage at a time, and depending on how quick your heartbeats are, he may not have even heard it before he died. Like, it could have just been a situation where Cheamo thought he had more hearts than he did, and then you don't even hear the beep necessarily, and then all of a sudden he's dead, and you go, oh crap, I should have been paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact this seed has been spectacularly ridiculous.
Yeah, I would really love to see somebody run this seed without a spoiler log and without knowing anything, because that, like, as the way this seed plays out right now, this could be easily a 2-hour seed.
I got a buddy I'm sending this to, I'm not gonna lie. Spy Weaver, I hope you're not in chat right now, because you're about to get this seed.
Convince him to stream this, and I have to look to watch him play this seed.
Oh, I.
Alright, there is a second crystal for cheamo. Eastern Palace is done. Right, we're going Kakariko now. And back to the Dark World. No, cheamo, you don't have the mids yet. There's still one glove somewhere else, so you have to take the long way around.
Speaking of, where are those bits?
Yeah.
We've pretty much everywhere else at this point. Where could they be?
Yeah, no timer on either sides right now, but I think we're more than half an hour in right now. May even get towards the 40 minute mark. Still no second glove.
So right now, unless I'm mistaken by what I'm seeing here in the SRL, we are sitting at... Give me a second, I gotta do some math, and we all know I'm bad at that. We're sitting at 40 minutes.
Ah. Alright, cheamo getting into his second pendant dungeon with Skull Woods. And he's going, it seems like, straight to the back. Did I really curse this seed as a pet seed?
I mean, you may have cursed it as a green pendant seed.
Yeah, because...
Ped.
Is it... If it would have been a pet seed, he would have done Pot Eastern together. I think. So a pet seed is, I don't think we'll see it, but green pendant is still a possibility.
Yeah, Mitts on Sahasrara, exactly where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, but we'll see here the back chest under the bridge. Oh, no, there are the mitts. Wow.
Nope, we're clearing it anyways. Oh boy.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, so at this point we just need ether, I think.
Yeah, and for convenience you want to have at least one more sword and the silvers.
Yeah, and you really drove that point home there, as cheamo, you know, had to take 8 swings to a Gibdo to kill it. Master Sword's not fun.
Yeah, and imagine Master Sword Moth now. That's not fun. At least we got Fire Rod and half magic. So it's 8 Fire Rod shots. But Moth is not fun. Just got 2 hearts left, so has to be very careful. But he's done it.
Nicely done. So we either have ether on Moth, or we have wait.
Burner? Oh, green pendant. I hear you. I see you.
And I want you to go away.
Far away. Far over the misty mountain. No, different ball game. Alright, where are we going? Light World? Flute? Ice Palace.
Looks like here is that Ice Palace play you were talking about earlier with a Master Sword. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, Bombos and Half Magic and Fire Rod is okay for Cold Stare. And we have the Cane of Samaria, so at least Icebreaker is in play.
That is fair. That's the one good thing about this seed is that Icebreaker is in play. I don't think I'd give the seed anything else though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of you who are just joined us in chat and are perhaps unfamiliar with how this wonderful, wonderful kind seed started, I'm not even sure I want to try to run through how it went. Okay, so you've got one sword that is in the library, and that sword is accessible through the boots, which are in the back of Escape. No, you don't have a glove, because both those are in the Dark World. One in the brewery, one in the back of Skullwoods. You didn't get the fire rod either, so that's gonna be a long time coming. So you have to go through Escape to get the boots, and then go back to Kakariko to grab your sword. The cape was thankfully on Bottle Merchant, so that was nice. And you get to go run through a basically weaponless, unless we're talking about the red boomerang, because that was technically available. But outside of that, you had fighter sword for Aga Tower, and that's it. So then you go into Pod and you grab your flute, and that's really nice because without those gloves, the flute's your only way up the mountain. And the old man gives you the hook shot. That's great. There is nothing else up the mountain though. So you take that hook shot, and you take the flippers that were in Lumberjack Tree. Are you still following? Because this is terrible. And you have to basically do the never seen route where you jump down to to just north of where the pyramid is, into the water, swim up, and then because you can't do Catfish. Catfish has hammer, but you can't do that, and that's what Oase got messed up on. That's why he forfeited, because he didn't remember that you could do this. But you can swim up to the little ledge that's next to the Dark Witch Hut, and then go back down and hook shot across. And that's where you had to go because both of your gloves were on that portion of the Dark World. So,
yeah, you had to get the one glove from the brewery, and then I forgot where Fire Rod was at this point, but I think it was glove locked. Yeah, it was in desert, wasn't it?
Yes. So then you've got your one glove. You go all the way back to Catfish for the hammer because we need that. And you couldn't have gotten it the first time you're up there. And at this point, the only good thing is that the boots were in the back of Escape, and even that you're starting to question. So you grab your hammer. You can go ahead and do Thieves Town while you're there, I guess, while you go back. But you did have the mirror earlier, and that's a really good thing because the book is sitting on Cave 45. And that's your only access into desert, since we still haven't found the mitts. So yeah, you go into desert, you get your fire rod, you get your bow, and then with the fire rod, you can go to the bridge chest in the back of Skullwoods and get the mitts.
Yeah, not to forget that the mirror was actually in Ice Rod Cave, which is a pretty terrible location if you don't have a spoiler log.
That's a good point. Yeah, that wasn't even worth mentioning with all the rest of it. And with the big key sitting in Ice Tea Room, in the big chest is Ether. That is officially go mode for us, and that was a perfect location for the last thing.
Yeah, this seed is so awful in terms of item placement. It's really... Oh my god.
Oh, not to mention, after all this, you still only have one bow and two swords. So it's not like you picked up a bunch of stuff and you're at least, decently equipped for things. No, that's not happening.
Well, at least we got blue mail. That was very nice in the back of the tavern. So that was very early.
Let me check. Green Pendant wasn't anything important. I think he just grabbed Cane of Burna because I'm in the area and heck with it. I don't recall what Green Pendant was. I know it's nothing important because I checked
Green Pendant.
Stuff.
I just checked it. It was 5 rupees. So Green Pendant is nothing.
Blue cash or a Green Pendant? Sounds just fine to me.
Yeah. Alright, that's actually the third crystal for Cheamo with Ice Palace done. He might go Mire and Desert area now to finish off Mire and Desert. And after that he'll go up the mountain to do Turtle Rock and Tower of Hera.
Yep, at least that came out decently. At this point, I'd just like to say, because I know we don't have a timer on either end right now, we are sitting at 50 minutes in, and no, cheamo has not made any mistakes. The seed's just that bad.
Yeah. In a spoiler log race, 3 crystals done after 50 minutes. It's really awful.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like this fourth crystal here in desert, cheamo could have technically done, because he did have the glove when he came here, grabbing the fire rod and the bow, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he also would have had to get out of the left side of desert, and then it would have been a longer trek. This way he can mirror just in front of the boss entrance. He can do it faster this way.
Yeah. And yes, as Chad's pointing out, there were a couple of slight routing errors on cheamo's side, like killing Mothula and forgetting the flippers for a bit there. But overall, I'm just pointing out that this seed has been full-on awful. The fact that we're 50 minutes in has very little to do with cheamo's play and routing, and just a lot more to do with the routing of this seed being one of the worst I've ever seen. I say without exaggeration.
Yeah, this seed. I have seen only one seed which was worse, which was Moon Pearl on pedestal. But yep. That's but this seed is very, very close to the worst seeds I've ever seen.
Was it a blind pull, or did you at least have the book?
No, it was a blind pull.
Oh no.
The book, well, you had to do go to desert with a flute and the mirror.
Oh,
and the book was in, I think it was in GT or somewhere, because neither runner picked it up. It was a truly awful seed.
Alright, so we have 4 crystals done, and we are headed into Mire at this point. We still don't have anything that's going to make Vidi anything other than terrible. So there's that to look forward to, right?
Yeah, unless we find here silvers or another sword, this will be a master sword Vidi. At least we have the cape, so you can activate that glitch where you activate the cape and then hardly use any magic while you're slashing with your sword like a crazy people.
Yeah. Sword slash like a madman, save magic. Works out.
Alright.
Chat has probably figured out by now, the mushroom and Kakariko well that both of our runners did pick up, not required for anything.
Yeah, but it looks like we might have a vanilla big key or some item in the vanilla big key chest in Mire. Which is awful. It just adds to the seed.
I mean, at this point, is it even surprising?
No.
So what, bull swords or left side swamp?
Yeah. You know, this seed is really missing a tile room in GT.
Yeah, but tile room's not the trolley location for the big key in spoiler log.
Yeah, no, in spoiler log not, but in a normal race it would be.
I have no idea where the GT big key is, so I can't even speak on it.
Well, I can tell you I know it. But I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it at this point.
And there is the other setup for Spooky.
Or back of Mire, unless there's an item on Vitreous. Nothing important here, other than a crystal.
Yeah, but at least after this we get to head up the mountain. That's something, right?
Yeah, but Turtle Rock is also not really fun if you only have Master Sword.
That set up not being friendly, so we're just gonna go do it the old-fashioned way.
Alright, Master Sword Vitreous coming up.
I don't think I've ever seen someone go that deep into that staircase and not walk down it. Okay, thank goodness. Discretion prevails over valor and the cape comes out.
Well, Stayman, we know where the last two swords, we the commentators, because we watched the spoiler log, we know where they are. Unless the cheamo picks them up, we will tell you after, when he comes to a close. We won't spoil at this point if he'll pick up Silver's or another sword. But we can tell you after, at the end.
Yeah, we have the information available. It's just, as commentators, we try not to divulge too much information because the runners can watch the stream, and we don't want to be a source of information for the runners unwittingly. So,
Yeah. And
stay tuned and we'll let.
also the most of the watchers don't know the spoiler log, and so we try to make it a nice experience for them too, and don't spoiler all of the race and make it boring.
Exactly. So I see someone in chat asking for details on what happened. To put a long story short, the seed was terrible. And after running around like a chicken with your head cut off for probably half an hour, you had to get to a point where you had to use the flippers and the hook shot after defeating Aga to jump down on the little ledge north of the pyramid, swim across to the ledge that's sitting near the Dark World Witch Hut, and then go down and hook shot across because you didn't have the hammer or a glove to lift up that rock or hammer the peg to get that way. And with both gloves sitting in the Village of Outcast area and the hammer sitting on Catfish, it was a situation where Oase had a brain fart on how to do it. And honestly, I think most of us would have been in the same situation because it's not like you have to use the flippers and the hook shot to get to Village of Outcasts area very often without the use of a glove or a hammer. That's not something that comes up pretty much ever. So after sitting there for a bit, Oase did officially forfeit in the SRL and then basically looked at cheamo and said, "How do you do this?" And cheamo was like, "Oh, like this." And then Oase said, "Oh, well, I haven't had to do that in the last 2 years, so no biggie." And that's how the forfeit went. And the seed has not gotten better since because we are sitting at almost an hour in at this point, and yeah, it's not been fun. Hey, nice silvers.
Yeah, at least that's on the way. So no Master Sword Silverless Ganon today. Maybe a Master Sword Silver Ganon.
Yeah, pretty much. Even with this being, even outside of this being a really stressful type of race, with the 15 minutes for the spoiler log study period, and then a low percent frantic run through the game, even outside of that, it's just a silly little thing to have to know. It's really, really nuanced, and I think I've seen it once before, so I'm not blaming anyone for not knowing that off the top of their head.
Yeah. We both, Hammer and I, we both studied the spoiler log in the beginning before the race, while the runners also studied it, and we both did not get that point. Did not get that you had to make that play. And I don't run myself, but I'm watching races for about 3 years now, and I'm also commentating for a half a year. So I would consider myself that my knowledge of the game is kind of okay. And I've seen this play, but I absolutely did not get that.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I was a complete and total dingus and just kind of thought the hammer would magically appear once you got close enough to the catfish. Didn't realize at all that we didn't have any gloves. And then the entire time was thinking to myself, you can't do catfish, you still don't have a glove, not realizing that cheamo was jumping down and using that to get over to the gloves. So I fully admit I had no comprehension of what was going on until it happened.
Yeah, it's absolutely no shame to not know this or forget this play. I'm sure Oase knows that play, but yeah, he did not remember that at the time.
Yeah, his specific response was, "Oh, I didn't know, or guess I knew, but forgot since it hasn't come up since 2018," which is fairly accurate.
Yeah, it's so seldom you see this play to be required.
But meanwhile, we are making our way through Turtle Rock, and we just have the back of it now. Still need a key off of here at Laser Bridge, because of course we do. Nicely done. That was a really nice skip, especially with 3 hearts, because if you get hit and then knocked off, I'm pretty sure you're dead with Blue Mail, so that's a little scary.
Yeah, I think so.
Whew, just missed that pokey there.
Yeah, but now we'll have either a Master Sword Trinex or a Hammer Trinex. Both not really nice.
At least we have half magic.
Yeah. Oh, that's a very nice setup. Oh, that's very nice firehead. Can he prevent the ice head to spread ice? No, he can't, but should still be should still be okay.
Yeah, and with 4 hearts, I think he can burn 1 hit from Trinex, but not 2. So we're still going to want to be careful here. It's not 1-hit KO, but we're not doing much better at this point.
But he's looking very good now.
I swear, if cheamo dies after you've said that, I am throwing you under the bus. I'm blaming you entirely for that death.
You don't have to. I'm quitting. I'm quitting myself. If I curse this, I'm quitting. I'm done.
You can go sit in a corner and think about what you've done while cheamo has to do TR again. But that didn't happen. Trinex went down. We've got 6 crystals now. Thank goodness.
Yeah, and Tower of Hera with a Hera pot should be fairly quick.
Yep, amusingly enough, cheamo needs the 1 crystal that Oase already has.
Yeah, but I think Oase only did a Hera out of despair, because he needed time to think how he wanted to route, because he got at the point where he did not know how to get to the left side Dark World or to Catfish, and then he went to the mountain and did Hera, so to think while doing something that is required. but he had no idea, but he didn't get the right idea, so.
Alright, so this dungeon is going to be really, really fast unless Trolldorm decides to put a final stamp of approval on this wonderful, wonderful seed. So, there are 22 chest locations in the basement of GT that could contain that big key. Don't give me a number, since we're going to be skipping a lot of chests. I'm sure a bunch of you have already tossed in numbers. Yep, there we go. There's always one person. Instead, give me a room. And if the room has multiple chests, then give me a specific chest, because we're going to be skipping pretty much every chest up until that point. So we will see where it ends up, and then the winner gets to watch the rest of this terrible race. Yeah, that works. Does that work, Bigfoot, or do you have something else?
Nah. Well, should be okay to watch the rest of the race, but to watch the race again would be a punishment, I think.
That is fair. And that is our 7th crystal officially. We're sitting about 1 hour and 5 minutes at this point.
Alright, we have 3 guesses till now. One is Torch, which would be nice for the runner. And 2 others are both in the room behind Ice Armos. The Vanilla Big Key room. Those are for a spoiler log race, that's the most inconvenient position. Tie room, next check would be okay, because that's fairly quick to get to, if you know the big key is there.
Alright, we are going left.
This does not look like tie room, or does it? Maybe he needs the key? No, he goes left. So I think tie room should be out.
Most likely. It looks like we also got in a last-minute Bob's chest, so that's another guess we want to throw in there, I guess.
Yeah, Bob's chest also quite late, just before the Ice Armors. Oh, and we're going kinda deep into GT.
Yep, so it's gonna at least be the Fire Snake room here.
Yeah. After that comes Rando room, but first we'll see if Fire Snake room. Oh, I thought for a moment, but no.
$20, and it's not Rando room either. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay, this screams really much like well, Bob's chest or Ice Armors. At least it can't be Big Chest.
Would it surprise you too much if it somehow managed?
This seed? In this seed, nothing would surprise me.
Just kidding, it's been key sanity the whole time.
Yeah. Alright, Bob's chest, and there it is. So, Torta34. Congratulations, you win.
I don't know what you win, but you win.
Yeah.
You win some sympathy for these 2 poor runners, especially for Cheamo, who actually had to play this whole terrible thing.
Yeah.
Oase did the smart thing and just got out.
Yeah, and he went on and got actually his tempered sword, which was in the room behind Ice Armors.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think at this point we can go ahead and tell them where the 4th sword is.
Yeah, well, there was no chance we would have seen this, because it was in the purple chest. And yeah, that's inconvenient. So 3 swords were Dark World locked. And so you had to do an Fighter Sword Aga 1 play, which is really awful.
Yep, that room did not go ideally.
Yeah, at least he is not very high up the tower, so it's not too much of a time loss. Not that that matters at this point.
All right,
All right.
take two worked quite a lot better, and we are going to be murdering some mimics real quick here. Silvers makes this quite a bit easier.
Yeah, and with tempered sword and silvers, also the gun and fight should be, well, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it should be okay. For me, it wouldn't be easy, definitely.
That depends on cheamo's strategy up the gauntlet, because we're sitting at 6 arrows right now.
Oh yeah, you're right. He needs 4 for Ganon.
Oh,
but
look at those drops!
well, he just picks up a 5 arrow drop, so
Yeah, but with the Stelphos and the Zyzax both in the arrow pack, I think we're going to be okay.
he's at 14 arrows now. That should be okay.
Yeah, unless Landmo 2 goes really, really badly, we should be okay.
Yeah, when Lambos 2, you also have a fire rod, so it should be okay.
I'm sorry.
You jinxed it.
No, I didn't. Still, like, we're okay. Take it back. We're okay.
Yeah, it was a very nice recovery from cheamo.
Where were the bottles? I don't even know. There was one on Spectacle Rock. No, was it Desert?
Desert Ledge was one bottle. And I think we saw another one on Spec Rock, I think.
Let's see. So Desert Ledge had a bottle. Paradox Cave had a bottle. Floating Island had a bottle with a fairy. The other two had gold.
Oh, yeah.
Super Bunny Cave had a bottle with a green goo.
Alright. So, no really convenient bottle.
Yeah, I think Super Bunny Cave was the closest one between its items and you know what it had, because Spectacle Rock would have been really easy to get, but you don't really need to be.
Yeah, Desert Ledge would also be okay to get, but it would have also been just a B.
And that is the best safety in the entire game.
Yeah.
The mushroom safety. Nice Moldorm 2 fight there. We'll see if we're going to be skipping the last chest in the game here or not. Alright, now it's time for everyone's favorite math test. Say hello to agonometry. Oh, that was a nice triple.
Oh, close. Just a single?
Man, these blue balls are terrible.
The seed is terrible.
Well, yes. And there we go. And with that said and done, it is time to fight the pig.
Yeah, to get over with this seed. What we can announce at this point is that there is another race scheduled on this channel in approximately about 10 to 15 minutes. So if cheamo will come to an interview, we'll have to keep it short. So the commentators for the next race will have some time before the race to do their intro.
Yep, and that race coming up is Dante versus Matt7898. So there's that one. We also have a race starting a little later tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, and that one is... my eyes just stopped working. Hold, please. Tam versus Zelda is on. So those we have a couple good more races if you haven't gotten your fill of spoiler log seeds. I was gonna say of terrible seeds, but there's no guaranteeing that their seeds are gonna be as bad as this one. And I certainly hope they're not. I don't really wish this seed on anyone, if I'm being perfectly honest.
No. I can tell you, I'm going straight to bed after this. I don't want anything else tonight.
I feel like cheamo might be going straight to bed too. Just remember to push up after you've killed Ganon so you can walk through the room and then you're good to go. Your requirements are done.
Yeah.
Nice double. Let's get one more in the pig. And then we can call it a night. I had a moment where I thought Ganon was going to literally warp right on top of cheamo's head for the death there. Right at the end.
Yeah, I was holding my breath too. That was scary.
Alright, so unless this 1x3 bridge decides to be a jerk, this seed's going to be over, and thank goodness. So that is officially a GG. Get them in chat. cheamo deserves every GG you've got and a couple more. Finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 33 seconds. That does include the 15-minute spoiler period, so the race time was 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 33 seconds. Truly a marathon seed.
Yes, GG cheamo. And there he is. cheamo, GG's.
Thanks.
Yeah, so how about that seed?
The seed itself was surprisingly bad. Spoiler, everything. How much bad stuff can they throw at you? You needed everything. You needed to do Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, for a seed that didn't require any fetch quests for fetch quest's sake, this was as bad as it could get. Because I was looking through the seed and I was like, okay, don't need pedestal, don't need green pendant, don't need mushroom or powder, any of that stuff. Not so bad. Then I started looking at the items and I was like, oh no, never mind. I'll take it back entirely.
Yeah, for sure. I was at first I saw both gloves in dark. I was like, okay, better. Then it's like, oh wait, how do I get a sword? I need cape for this. And then some stuff I didn't even realize. Oh, I can't do hammer anywhere when it's convenient because you need it. It's just all sorts.
Yeah, we also didn't get that you had to do that flipper thing to get over to the left side dark world. We also thought in our preparation we had to go to do Aga and then go get the hammer and then go somewhere and then get your gloves, but we totally missed that you had to get the glove to get to the hammer. That was sick.
Yeah, and I was not I kind of realized that, but I missed that I needed the flippers because I was like, oh, I can just hook shot across, fine, forgetting that you need hammer to get up there. But quickly when I got the flippers, I guess that's such a rare thing that actually comes up. So I guess that's pretty tough. Disappointing race. Even if he had not perfectly do it.
Yeah, thank God this was a spoiler log race and not a normal race.
Right? You'd have just done freaking.
I mean, the hammer location, you would have last locationed it. Because after getting the glove out of... Yeah, no, that you would have definitely last location that hammer without a spoiler log. There's no way you're going back to Catfish after walking by it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like walking by twice, at least. I don't know how you do this.
And then, not to mention, the book in K45 needed to go into desert for the fire rod, needed to go get the other glove. Yeah, no. No.
Yeah, I didn't catch that until I was mid-race. Like, there was just so much jank in this seed, I didn't even have like half my I started playing.
This seed was definitely a, okay, go ahead and strap yourselves in. No, tighter. Okay, are you in? Right. You sure you're okay? Okay, here's a couple pillows. Get ready.
Yeah. And those, like, if those myths had been anywhere else in Skull, it would have been fine, but you needed the stupid fire rod to go get them.
That's actually another thing I didn't notice. I didn't even think about the requirement for the fire rod, so that one slipped me by entirely. I was like, why didn't he get the... And then when you got the fire rod, I was like, oh, dummy. That chest's in the back. The fire rod for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, otherwise it would have made things a lot neater around. That particular just insult.
Yeah, and those swords, man, those swords.
Yeah, I was actually like so dumb. I went to CAC to get K45 when I realized it because I was like, oh, I'll just need. Like, there was another sword available. I think it was
Purple chest? That's not available.
okay. That was just purple chest. Yeah, pretty much not available. You would have to do it after.
I mean, it wouldn't have been available until after Mitts, which, I mean, could have been somewhat helpful for a couple of the bosses, but overall was not going to be, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was worth it, and you had quite a bit of other like useful gear, like stuff. Probably wasn't worth it. At that point, we said to like forfeit, and I was kind of like lost my focus, and it didn't really matter. I wanted to finish.
That's fair. You got the win by surviving, and normally that's not too terribly tall of a task to ask, but I feel like for this seed, it was well deserved. This is definitely a seed, but you earned this W by just being able to see it through.
Definitely.
All right, so we do have a race starting up in, I believe, about 5 minutes. So we are going to make way for our two comms and our Dante and Matt 7898 race, which is going to be starting in just a moment here. So quick shout outs to my co-comm, Bigfoot. It is a blast common with you. Shout outs to our runners. Go ahead and give them a follow because this seed was terrible. And shout outs to our tracker, Hexodus. That is all I've got. Have a great night, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks to you, Hammer. Always a blast with you. That's right. And everybody have a nice night and enjoy the next races.